Okay, hello YouTubers, and today I'm going to be reviewing this, which is the fairly newly released Nawya, well, however you pronounce the company. The video's in the company name's in the video title, hopefully. Latest release, which is the Master's laser screwdriver, which I was quite surprised about, because I thought if they were going to do any more, I thought it would have been a 10th Doctor Sonic screwdriver or something along those lines. Though, I am glad they did do this, because I'm a big fan of the laser screwdriver. I know a lot of people are. And while, it does have its inaccuracies and problems, I'll say this right away, this is absolutely worth the money. Absolutely worth the money. Well, depending on the price you pay for it. To be honest, because with all of these releases, just like with their 12th Doctor releases and their 11th Doctor releases, the prices do fluctuate a bit, and we'll get onto that later on in the video. But just taking a look at this thing first of all, it looks absolutely fantastic, and I think this is this one is almost entirely made out of metal. And it's also the first one I have literally knocked onto the floor in this video. Yep, and I always seem to knock these onto the floor. So, hooray for that. So, yeah, this thing is really nicely detailed. I will say there are a few inaccuracies. Number one is, it is good that it does have the micro switch in the correct place. Although the design of it is slightly off. Not by much, but is very, very slightly off. In fact, if we get a picture here of the Series 3 prop, you can actually see the slight design difference in it there. But yeah, now this one is clearly, based on the rubber toe. It is basically based on the rubber toe, very much so. And the rubber toe replica is based on the Series 10 prop. Now, in terms of the Master's laser screwdriver, the two versions, the Series 3 one and the Series 10 one, we've got a lot of pictures of the Series 3 one, not so much of the Series 10 one, to be honest. Unless anyone has other pictures to prove so, the best pictures I've found of the Series 10 prop are actually these pictures where Jong Sim is actually holding the Series 10 prop in his hand there. Those are basically the best looks I can get at it. And that, though the two are very similar in that to each other. Now there has been a bit of word about this end bit being chunky, and it doesn't look chunky like this, but if you look at it direct on, like that, it does look a little bit chunky, and this bolt, or whatever you want to call it here, this section here, is a little bit too flush. But yeah, and obviously this section here is just moulded in the crackle. It's just moulded in the crackle, it's not actually crackle painted and that. Although, neither was the rubber toe, to be fair, neither was the rubber toe, so that is something with both of them, that neither of them were crackle painted. Does it bother me? Not really, no. I'm not really fussed, to be honest. I mean, just doing a quick comparison, here's the character options toy, which I wonder if they used for reference, because it's a very similar size in dimensions. Although saying that, the character toy at the time was probably one of the most accurate in terms of their role-playing props at the time. It definitely was at the time when it was released. Because a lot of the dimensions and sizing seem to be copying that as well. Obviously not this end section here. Because with the character toy, this was not fully closed, because the nozzles here are supposed to collapse. Obviously this was done for, I think, practical reasons more than anything else. And also, I did rewatch the Series 3 finale for this, and Jong Sim's master never uses the laser screwdriver fully collapsed. He does have it, show it fully collapsed, but he never activates it fully collapsed. He always pops it up. So yeah, so on the original toy, you couldn't activate X when it was fully closed. Not the case with this one. So there we go, fully closed, and there we go. We'll get onto the lights and sound effects later, but this is something I'm glad the replica can do, is actually be accurate and be able to be fully collapsed. I will say though, the mechanism for this, initially when I got it out of the box, like when I first got it out of the box, it didn't want to fully collapse and slide in. And also the way you do it as well, the best way to do it is to basically press on the nozzle and have it click in place like that. Also something that happened, which thankfully isn't happening anymore, is these end nozzles often basically got stuck closed when you've popped it open like this. Again, just with use, with opening it and closing it several times. Oh look, I've managed to get it closed with the nozzles open. That is actually extremely difficult to do on this thing, because it doesn't really want to do it. I'll demonstrate now in that basically if you just try and push it like this closed, it will not lock, because the locking mechanism is within here and you need to press this down in order for that to lock like that. But yeah, if you do receive yours and the locking mechanism to keep it in place isn't working brilliantly, just use it a few more times. Like basically just keep doing this, opening it and closing it, and then eventually, you know, it'll all slack into place and hopefully get all up and running. But yeah, this is a separate section here which you can spin round and that, so the dial switch. And this is just a piece of plastic in here, but we'll get onto that in a minute. In terms of everything else, yeah, I can't really see much else on the detail in that. Obviously, there's a couple of things and that round, but they've got things like, you know, the grub screw hole and that there. And again, it's kind of an amalgamation between the two, you know, versions of the actual, you know, prop itself. But yeah, it may be a bit chunkier and that in places than the actual one. But to be honest, not really a lot else. To be honest, I'd say this was like a good, you know, 85–90% of the way to what the rubber toe is, to be honest. And I'm glad to report with this one, there are no electrical issues. I had people in my previous video about the 11th Doctor one saying that, oh, it doesn't have electrical issues. Well, mine does. It's very flaky. My 12th Doctor one doesn't. But I don't know if it's just because of the one I got had it or not. But I've heard the rubber toe. My friend has a rubber toe 11th Doctor sonic screwdriver. He says the electronics on his are a bit flaky. Thankfully in this one that's not the case. And let's go through the actual sound effects. So, to activate the standard sort of kill sound effect, you press and hold down the button. And as you can see here, all three lights in the barrel light up. And the sound effect is lifted directly from, probably from the character toy, to be fair. And obviously it is quietened a bit because obviously it's all encased within metal. What's also nice is that the new relay section here does actually light up, which it doesn't want to focus on. But yeah, that is something I was wondering if they'd actually do. But yeah, it does actually light up, which is a nice little touch. Now, to get a second sound effect, a more continuous laser sound effect, you click the button twice and hold. And that is to just have, you know, a continuous laser firing effect. And then the third sound effect, which this one's going to be the controversial one, so hit the button 3 times and hold. Now this is meant to be the de-aging sound effect. There's a problem with it though. Sorry, aging sound effect, not de-aging one. That is not the sound effect. I will demonstrate this with the character toy, and this is how it's supposed to sound. And if we just look at the light effect at the same time as well, the light is a steady pulse. Which, yeah, the character toy has the correct sound effects, so I'm not quite sure why they got it so wrong with this one. Also, the fact that... I'm going to fully close it for this. But also the fact that the lights also go in rotation, because that is also inaccurate. Because the actual prop itself didn't do that. In fact, if you watch the episode, it clearly doesn't do that. The actual prop was basically just LEDs that went on and off, basically. Like, on the actual prop, all the button does is turn the lights on and off. It doesn't have any rotatory thing. I think this is probably something that they've probably, you know, taken or had a look at the 12th Doctor's sonic screwdriver, and that, I don't know, I honestly don't know why it does this, but it is inaccurate to it. And the fact that the sound effect is so off as well, like, it's not even, you know, I don't know what happened there with the sound effects, because yeah, it just sounds nothing like it, to be fair. Okay, maybe very vaguely. Maybe in the Vegas way possible, but yeah, that is a bit of an odd one. But the fourth sound effect, oh, there we go, this has popped up this time, is the sound of drums. So if you press it 4 times and hold, oh, no. Now, you don't get any lights with this, but it is basically the Master's heartbeat. And this will just endlessly loop until you then press the button again to make it stop. But, yeah, it's to be honest, I'm fine with the others, to be honest. The fact that we do get, you know, an accurate laser sound effect, that is the main thing for me, and the fact that all barrels do light up, and the fact that, you know, the inside MIG section there does light up as well. And yeah, it doesn't feel like anything's gonna break in this. This section here does wobble a bit. Like this section here wobbles, and this section at the end wobbles. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break or anything like that, but it is just something worth noting that, you know, it's a little bit wobbly in there, and also, you know, like this, sometimes it doesn't want to work unless you really just go like that. You have to really push it in to click it in. Okay, so let's take a look at some accessories in the box. Ooh, what shall we get in the magic box? Well, this is where the screwdriver is placed, and we get these 2 accessories here, which are separate crackle pieces. So we get this more yellowed one, and then we get this one, which, yeah, in pictures it looks more grey, it's actually more of a white. And to change these out, you unscrew the very end of the cap here, like so, which is also where the on-off switch is, because, yep, this has an on-off switch, which I recommend you do switch to off when you're not using it, to save on the battery, or just take the battery out. But yeah, they simply slide on, and you can slide another one on. And there you go. Obviously the one that is pre-installed is the most accurate to the prop. So yeah, but also if you unscrew this next section here, that gives you access here to a AAA battery, which is obviously what is powering the screwdriver. So So yeah, this whole thing runs off a AA battery, which, you know what, I'd rather it be running off a AA battery than, you know, more proprietary types. But yeah, just a bit of a weird thing that's included, to be honest. Because initially I was thinking, oh, does the Series 10 one crackle look any different to the Series, you know, 3 one? But no, they look pretty similar to each other. I've also noticed that this one will nice and freely spin when this is fully tightened, like this, whereas the other one seems to be ever so slightly larger. It does seem to be slightly larger, this one. I don't know what it is, but it does seem to be ever so slightly larger than the other one. Because when I tighten this, it doesn't quite turn quite as well as the other one does. It does still turn, but not quite as well. I don't know what it is with that one. Let's put the other one on just for, you know, comparison's sake. My friend actually had a theory about these, and that, oh, maybe they're test samples for a future 10th Doctor Sonic. I doubt it, because I doubt they give you test samples in with all of these. I mean, it could be the case, I doubt it. Because obviously, plus also, this doesn't match the colour either. Because the theory was, oh, this one's for a 9th Doctor one / 10th Doctor one, this one's for the 50th anniversary one. I doubt it. Yeah, you can see that one there. This one actually spins perfectly fine. This one actually looks more like, for example, if the grey had yellowed over time. To be fair, but yeah, it's an interesting accessory, a little bit bizarre. It's nice it is included, and also I'm curious to, because I know Little Shop Props did an aftermarket crackle section for the Rubber Tool replica. I'm curious on whether that would fit this one or not. I don't know. I doubt it, 'cause I think on this one it's a little bit smaller as well. And the way it's slightly more angled. I'm not sure. If not, I'm sure someone could create one. Or what you could do is get one of these, sand it down, which would be a little bit difficult because it's, you know, got wedges there. Ridges, even. You could sand it down till it's completely smooth and then crackle paint it yourself, especially with this one since it's, you know, white, essentially. It's like it's a slightly off-white colour, but you could do that to get a more accurate, you know, crackle painting. But in terms of anything else that is in this box, if I actually open the box, come on. It doesn't want to come out. Yeah, there we go. So underneath the foam, there's basically just, you know, a plain white box. But if we take a look at the box that the Sonic actually comes in, this one, it comes in a similar type of, like the shape of the box is similar to the 11th Doctor one. However, rather than being a magnetic box, it's more of a slipcasey type box, like the 12th Doctor's. So you can see here on the back of it here, there's the Master's ring there, which is all nice, well and good. And this is the outside of the box and that there, which I do quite like this. They've got it Saxon Laser. Interesting. Saxon Laser Screwdriver Replica. So I'm guessing that's its official name. We do get an instruction here, which just could be a little bit more detailed, but it is. I do quite like the way it's done. And we've got on the other side a Vote Saxon poster, and also a disclaimer, which I'm sure every single person is going to absolutely read. Yeah. But we do get those included in there as well. So, lovely jubbly, I guess. But, you know, at the end of the day, overall, what are my final thoughts on this thing? Well, as I've said previously, I definitely think it is worth the money. It is absolutely worth the money. But it's how much you spend on it is the actual real kicker here. Because when this first went up on eBay, I think the price was £260 or somewhere around those lines, which still would have been good for this. It still would have been good, but I did decide to wait on it to see if the price would go down. And sure enough, after more of them got listed, they all kind of started going down in price bit by bit. This one here, I paid £142 for, which I think is an absolute steal for that. Like, I think, you know, and obviously this, I should mention it here, this is not an official release. Let me make this quite clear. This is an unofficial release, basically. Okay? So you are not buying an official product with this. So let me make this quite clear. Also, I'm surprised the company isn't making bootlegs of the character toy, to be honest, because they do make bootlegs of the 12th Doctor, 11th Doctor, and 10th Doctor sonic screwdrivers. And I think they're doing Replica ones as well now, because the same company that made that bootleg 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver toy I reviewed, basically the same company makes these as well. So, yeah, it's made from a company who does make bootlegs as well. And you could argue, is this bootlegging the rubber tool? Kind of. Kind of. Though, you know, it falls into that weird sort of in-between thing where it's a replica, so it can kind of get away with it. It can kind of get away with that. But yeah, this is an unofficial, you know, product. But still, it is a fantastic price. And I say if you can get it for around, you know, £140, £150, I'd say absolutely go for it. It is a fantastic, you know, laser screwdriver, and definitely one worth having to the collection. And hopefully they do make more of these, you know, different ones than that in the future. Again, if they do a 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver and that, absolutely fantastic. They do seem to be doing what looks to be a copy of the Wand Company 12th Doctor remote. At least that's what it looks like from the pictures that they've been using from the various sellers who sell these. But yeah, as I said, very happy with this, and just highly recommend it, just despite all of its, well, some of its flaws. But yeah, there we go, people, there we go.